What does it mean to you to become a pro player in Rust? Is it to improve your aim, to become a PvP god? Or maybe to become the best builder on the server? Well, I think it's all useless, because for every good builder there's a Chinese clan that will wipe out your base, and for every good fighter there's a cheater who will destroy you in a second. That's why I'm gonna show you 10 advanced tips and tricks to outsmart these players and become a real pro in Rust. I'll show you how to hide boxes inside the foundation so they're impossible to find, how to make an invisible trap that can do damage through walls, how to build an insane one-way shooting floor to make you look like a cheater, and many other unusual things. I guarantee you won't know all of this, so make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel and enjoy the video. This trick will definitely blow your mind. If you build the first square as high as possible, add 2 low foundations next to it, and ride your sidecar motorbike up to the high square as I show, so that the sidecar is against the high square. You'll be able to push this bike into the foundation and then upgrade it into stone or metal. Now, if you hop on the bike and move to the passenger seat, you will move inside the foundation, where you can throw a sleeping bag and sometimes a large box. And if you open the settings and change the object quality to 0, you can see everything that's going on outside, because the foundation texture disappears. But unfortunately, you won't be able to damage other players from here. In any case, you're completely invisible from the outside, and when you respawn inside, you can easily loot your body and place some large boxes here to hide the most valuable loot. The next trick is for those who are tired of playing Rust. I've discovered this amazing game with over 800 incredible champions, intense PvE and PvP content, tactical upgrade systems and much more. So let me tell you more about this game. Players have been waiting for this for over 3 years. Ninja, the legendary strong champion, is once again redeemable in Raid Shadow Legends for a limited time only. To get him, download Raid using my link in the description or QR code on the screen. Then enter the promo code Ninja Returns to get Ninja and useful in-game items. Existing players can get free Ninja pack in the in-game shop by logging in for 5 days by August 15th. Just make sure to use my link or QR first. But that's not all. More prizes for new players coming. All you need to do is download and register to Raid from my link or QR code. Go to this website and enter your Raid ID. Upload a video of you playing the game and get a chance to win a handheld gaming console, a drone, a VR headset and up to $2,000 in Amazon gift cards. I like that I can play Raid not only at home on my PC, but anywhere on my phone. Also, this game has a lot of game modes, champions and game mechanics that make it very fun to play. If you haven't started playing yet, then what are you waiting for? Click my link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses available only via my link. You will immediately get huge starter pack with an epic champion Tagore from the Orc faction. And you'll get another starter pack after reaching level 15 that includes an epic champion Tyrell from the High Elves faction. Come find me under the name STELIC Rust and join my clan Rust Gang to dominate in Raid. Now let's get back to the video. This trap will definitely bring you a lot of loot, and it's very easy to make. First, place a repair bench with its front legs slightly off this line. Next, go around this bench. Attach 2 Tesla coils to the bottom of it and wire them up. Build a wall here and your trap is ready. You can use a laser or a motion detector instead of a switch. I just showed an example. If you've built your base too low and you're afraid someone will climb up on your roof, I used to recommend attaching any electrical component to the wall and it will block the building. However, this is not the best way to do it, because any component can be easily broken. Instead, it's better to place the footstep sensor inside the base, in the very corner as I show you. In this case, the ceiling can't be attached on both sides, and it's not possible to break the electrical component, because it's not visible from the outside. So this method is much more convenient. Do you feel comfortable playing with the 94th? As you can see, at 74th, the player model becomes 2 times larger at the same distance, which will give you a huge advantage in PvP. However, at the same time, you will see much less detail on the sides of the screen. As you can see, the palm on the left is now completely out of view. So I suggest you to play around with this setting to find the best FOV for your needs. Now let me show you how to make a one-way shooting floor that will definitely surprise your enemies. All you need is a sidecar motorbike, one normal wall and one half wall. Drive your bike up against the wall and make sure that your sidecar is between the two walls. Just like this. Now move to the passenger seat and watch the magic. From here I can see all 4 players, 2 from below and 2 from above. But at the same time, for the left player I'm completely invisible, and the right player can only see my ear. And the same goes for the players at the top. The only difference is that I'm completely invisible to both of them. So you can definitely use this method when building your shooting floor to gain an advantage over other players. If you found a horse right after the wipe and you want to save it, you can use a shelter. Let me show you what I mean. First, you need to find a flat surface to place the shelter. This location will be perfect. Next, you need to place the shelter as high as possible, as I show. Now you can drive your horse inside. Usually only the head will go in, but that will be enough. After you close the door, the horse will be stuck inside. As long as the door is closed, the horse cannot be used. You won't be able to ride it or lead it. But once you open the door, you'll be able to use the horse again. In my last video, I showed how to block the gates with a bicycle. But it turns out that you can also block double and single metal doors with a motorbike or bicycle. To do this, simply drive your motorcycle up to the door and leave it there. Congratulations, you've broken the door. Now it will close immediately after you try to open it. And the same works for the bicycle. If you leave it under the door, it will also block the entrance until someone removes the bike or breaks it. So you can easily block your neighbors inside their base. If you have a backpack and you know you're about to be finished, drag your loot into the backpack and use the surrender emotion before you get knocked out. This little trick will help you save some of your loot. Let me show you what I mean. As you can see, I can easily take the loot from my body. But if I try to take the loot from my backpack, I won't be able to do it, at least when I'm using the hover loot. The only way to get the loot from the backpack is to pick it up. But even in your inventory, you won't be able to use hover loot. In this case, you must drag each item into your inventory and drop it back into your backpack. After that, you can use the backpack as usual. Or you can use the surrender emotion again, and it will fully unlock the backpack. This item has just been added to the game, and I've already found the perfect use for it. If you attach these 2 items at the entrance to the underwater lab on either side, you will immediately hear if someone gets in, giving you a huge advantage over them. Here's an example of how it would sound. As you have seen, the enemy has no chance to get in unnoticed. Don't forget to use my Raid Shadow Legends link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses with 2 epic champions. And if you want to learn more about Rust, then here are 15 things you've been doing wrong in Rust.